So let's talk about what that first conversation might look like.
Okay.
So, because I know that's something when I'm like, yes, I often am the first point of contact.
Yeah.
And they'll say, okay, and I'm like, all right, let's get you pre-qualified and see what, before we start shopping, see what you're able to purchase. And it makes them really nervous. It makes people nervous to call a lender, and they don't know what to say, and they don't know, they feel like they're supposed to speak this language that they've never been taught, or like have this really great plan or something. And that's not the case.
No, it's simple. All you have to do is call, and we'll lead you through that conversation. We'll ask you questions that need to have, that we need to know.
It's as simple as like, hey, Jim, my name's Sara.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about getting a home loan.
I've had several calls like that. I don't know anything about home loan. Well, what do I need to do? And then I'll just, all right, great. You came to the right place. Let's go through this conversation. I'm going to ask you a few questions. You answer them the best you can. Let me know what you're making. And I go through the questions.
What will the questions be?
Yeah. How much do you make a month before taxes?
Okay.
What do you think your credit score is? When's the last time you saw your credit score?
Some ballpark idea.
What are your monthly debts? Like we talked about, what do you pay monthly, and what's that monthly payment? Do you have, and go in more detail, like, maybe I'll ask, do you have child support you have to pay? Do you get alimony you have to pay, or do you get, and then I'm going to try to figure out what your income is, what your debt is, what your credit score is, and really with those. And then the other thing, do you have a down payment? How much money do you have saved up? Okay, great. That's enough to do it. Or, okay, well, let's look into your some down payment assistance programs.
And that's if you're super prepared and you don't have to have all that information.
No, you don't.
To call Jim. If you don't remember all of this, and you don't want to, if you're not taking notes and you're just like, hey, wonder what I need to call Jim. He'll give you a list of what answers, or like what questions that he has, what answers he needs, and get started that way.
Exactly.
I know everyone operates a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Some people want to.
What do I need to know? I'll go find it and I'll call you back. Perfect.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. I'm that. I don't want to do. I'm going to call someone. I'm going to have them direct me. I'm going to have them send me an email. Probably. What do I need?
Yes.
And then I'll at some point get that back to them. So this can work however you want it to work. There's no predetermined format of and there's no expectations of borrowers.
And if you think you're a bad situation, you don't really want to talk about it, believe me, we've talked. You're not going to be the worst situation. Yeah, the bar has been set very, very low, and so you're fine. Don't even worry about it. Don't even be self-conscious about it.
No, that is something. Oh my gosh, there's so much credit and financial shame, and it's so
don't even
dumb.
It is.
I hate it. It's ugly and it's real, but it frustrates me.
Yep.
Okay, so that's that first conversation is going to look however it needs to look.
Yeah.
It can be literally as easy as, hey, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Can you hold my hand through this?
Yeah.
What's
a credit score? I'll go over it. And
yeah,
it's like, don't be afraid.
I feel like a big part of both of our industries is education.
Educating. Mm-hmm.
And I like doing that. I think Jim likes doing that. Yeah. So and you want, if this is new to you, or even if it's not new to you and you just don't remember it, and you want someone to hold you want someone who likes to educate you.
Most of the people I talk to are people that don't quite know how it all works and are not getting a loan right then and there.
Yep.
They're getting the questions answered, and they're going, okay, yeah, this is a 6 month to a year plan, or a 2-year plan, or
5-year plan
before I can even get a home. But at least now they know, and they start. So that, like, a lot of the people I talk to, that is the situation. And then a year later, they come back and they're ready.
So, and you've just got to start somewhere. Yep. And then there's other people that are like, oh my gosh, I had this gal. She one day was like, do you think, I don't remember what it was, $1,800 is too much to pay for rent? And I was like,
yes.
Well, I would rather be paying a mortgage with that amount of money. Yep. She hadn't even considered, her husband made a ton of money. They were wonderful. And so I was like, why don't you just look into it? And she's like, oh, okay. 2 days later, she comes back and she's like, yeah, oh my gosh, we qualify. Let's go shopping. It was so funny. They just hadn't even considered
I had
it.
one the other day, same thing. Like, can you look at my numbers? I just don't think I can get a mortgage. I looked at their numbers. I'm like, you can get a really big home if you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, let's
You
do that.
can
Yeah,
actually
she
take
was
your pick.
surprised, and I was like, you can do it. Congrats.
Yeah.